So welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, taking a look at the recent pump in price for the crypto market here, Bitcoin leading the charge. We touched about $32,000 over the last few hours, now trading around 31,500. So why this sudden move? Trying to explain that in this video, and also the who could actually be pumping this BTC right now. So a little bit of speculation later on in the video as well. So just looking through the price action here, 31.5 for Bitcoin, Ethereum up to $2,000. It was hovering around like $1,700. That was a previous area of, a lot of confluences, supports and resistances back to early 2021. And so it seemed like a pretty sensible place to be bidding some ETH. I know a lot of OGs in the market, Kobe and such, were bidding Ethereum down there, and it looks like it could be a solid play. On top of this, then we've got obviously a lot of stable coins in the top ranks. BNB around $318 right now. Cardano ripping up 25% over the last 24 hours. Quite amusingly, if you just checked out the sentiment towards specific coins, when all the doomsdayers stepped in, people were joking, really bashing on Cardano, and then it rallies the hardest out of the downtrend. So, people getting overzealous to the downside, taking the piss out of your coin, and then it starts to rip up. Same old story that we see time and time again. The bears having a bit too much fun there. So we just look at some Bitcoin price action here, still in this kind of macro range of around 28 to 60 odd thousand bucks. The lows of the range, of course, we wicked well below there to around $25,000, but still no weekly close below that level. And after posting now, 9 red weekly candles here, going back, our last green candle was on the 21st of March. Red, pure depression, all the way down here. We've started to see, a bit of a turnaround, and maybe we'll get our first green weekly in quite some time coming up here. So, law of averages, once we have, huge downside like that, losing almost 20,000 bucks, or more on Bitcoin in the matter of 2 months, say, there's going to be a turnaround point at some juncture and a relief rally will ensue. And it looks like we're at the start of that potentially here. On top of this as well, there is a CME gap. So on the question of how high can we rally here, there's a CME gap here, 34.5 up to around 35.5 thousand bucks. That could be a good area that we really run into some heavy resistance, and seen some confluences from some major traders with this kind of area. That was pointed out by Eric Crown on his daily TA recap. This guy's been trading like a god out there. And on top of this as well, Pentoshi also mentioning this kind of 35k region here, is thinking that the path is now up 33 to 35k for upside, and then back down to the lows. So he's put on a bit of a squiggly here into that kind of resistance area of around 35,000 bucks. And then we come back down to the range lows. Whether we, hit new lows, yet to be seen, but that is the kind of perception that I'm seeing here for some of the top traders, and the numbers do seemingly line up as well. So a bit of a relief bounce now over maybe the next week or two, and then I think it's going to be time to flip the script once again, and maybe we'll start to move lower. So these are kind of the relief rally bounces you want to be selling into, not financial advice, but that is my kind of thoughts on this right about now. In terms of market psychology though, this is the first time I've actually seen someone post this. So he's put together the delusional bear cheat sheet, which is quite amusing. People have been making serious money shorting the market, and at some point the tide turns. The bears are going to push forward and the bulls, retreat, and then flip the script. The bulls are going to have a pushback. Some of the bears, the overzealous bears, are going to be wrecked. So he was just pointing out here that the euphoria stage, I'm a genius, all us bears are going to be rich, Bitcoin to 1K end of the year. So there's going to be a bit of a short squeeze potentially here, and we can see a bit of a nice rally. You can kind of see the ingredients behind all of this. Then on top of this, we have the stocks. This webpage here just pointing out that June is typically bearish for the S&P. We have this kind of summer doldrum period, and crypto got dragged into that last year. Maybe we'll see the same in 2022. Fundamental forecast for the S&P still bearish. And so statistically, this is pointing out that, we're going into the weakest period of the year here throughout the summer, people taking time off. They're saying pretty much bear in mind that this is likely to be a relief rally, and that only, and it will be sold into. So some good data points to really check out here, but we know that the S&P is actually having a bit of a rally right now. But you can see from the chart here, the blue bars are the S&P average change. So you can see a very low average growth here over June. So June being one of the weakest months here. The VIX volatility index as well, having a bit of a low historically there as well. And then the volume in the S&P as well seems to stagnate quite a bit as well. So if we just look at the SPX here on trading view, you can see after that huge down run in form here, we're now posting a bit of a gain this week. So up around 7% so far. We've seen correlation between crypto and the stonks, of course. And so now the stonks have started to move. First mover stonks, second mover crypto seemingly here. So a nice bit of an echo pump in the crypto market. So stocks are moving, crypto's starting to move. Pretty good stuff. Fear and greed absolutely down to the pits. Some of the lowest readings we've ever seen. So likely to get a bit of a retrace from here. A bit of a mean reversion play. Weakening dollar value as well. So the Dixie as well has had a bit of maybe a blow off top, or at least a temporary blow off, temporary highs set, and is now retracing some of the gains. So as someone who, makes money in dollars here through cryptocurrency and then cashes out into GBP, it was quite interesting over the last month to see my dollars buying me more pounds, but that started to tick back down the other way now. So as this is put together here, it's worth noting that the dollar's strength is also a factor in assessing the price of cryptocurrencies. Most cryptocurrencies are valued against the dollar using stablecoins, and so as the dollar weakens, the value of cryptocurrencies will organically rise. So stocks up, Dixie down, makes for a pretty good combination that we can get a bit of a rally in the crypto markets. Not just a one-day pump, but maybe something a little bit more sustained here. So something to keep an eye on. And then as for the who, so there's been some big buys. I don't know if you've noticed over on Binance, there has been some real whale movements. Justin Sun from Tron and USDT, DD, their stablecoin that is coming out. Big news for USDT coming next week. And then we start to see big buy action on Bitcoin. So maybe he will start to back some of his stable assets with a bigger reserve of BTC, because the idea was that they're going to back this stable coin and have it, the algorithm, the kind of mint burn function or the arbitrage with Tron, but like who the heck actually wants to hold the Tron token? It's a known shitcoin. So maybe they're starting to buy up BTC as per Do Kwon's efforts previously. So this would make some sense. So that's where I've kind of got this kind of idea from. And also quite a few OGs speculating that, could be Elon Musk, could be Michael Saylor. If you dig into some of the Elon Musk kind of tinfoil hat stuff, is quite intriguing around Elon changing his profile picture on Twitter as the market turns and stuff. So something to have a bit of fun with. But Justin Sun is a known billionaire in this market, a huge whale, and maybe he has reasons here to be buying up a load of Bitcoin. So this is abnormal purchasing. We've seen spot purchases of huge amounts. This guy's been on the books for 3 hours, over $500 million in BTC purchased on spot. Billions purchased in the 28 to 29K region. And then the image down here shows you some of the actual buys that have been coming in as well. So some huge volume in there. Pentoshi also piles in. The Binance guy has been wild in the last few hours. He started close to a week ago with 200 and 400 Bitcoin buys at a time. And then he's been soaking up 2,000 Bitcoin orders as well. So you can see the kind of relief, the Bitcoin bear market relief rally, and then the narratives that work with it here. So there's always a reason or something to play along with in the markets. And maybe this speculative Binance buyer is the reason we're pumping right now. It also could be funds trying to bid up the prices, get retail interested once again to use them as exit liquidity. So that is something to be very mindful of as well, not to get overzealous in this period. Voice of reason here, Benjamin Cowan. We're in a Bitcoin maxi season and will remain in it for a while. He's been pointing out the BTC pairings for all altcoins. They're going down and likely to continue going down for quite some time. And even if altcoins do pump against the dollar valuation, it's likely they will still diminish in their dominance versus BTC. So he says, once the dominance is back to a healthier level for Bitcoin, maybe 60% plus, alts will then become attractive once again. So voice of reason there for Benjamin. Pretty interesting to see. Nice little pump here over the last 24 hours if you're waking up this morning and seeing some green on your charts. Here's some of the factors and reasons as to why and potentially who is bidding BTC right about now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys, and I'll catch you again soon. Goodbye.